Good morning, student. Today's lecture is about the typical appendages in a prawns. That is, in our last lecture, we have studied about the general characteristic of the prawn and their systematic position. So, in this lecture, we will study the different the type of appendages. Okay. A typical appendages of a prawn can be consist of basal region that is called as a protopodite that is made up of two segments, okay, or also called as a podomeres, okay, and these segments are called as a coxa and the bases, okay, and the segment by which the appendage is attached to the body is called as a coxa and the distal segment is called as a basis, okay. So uh, the basal region of the appendage is called as a protopodite and it consists of two segments, okay, and these two segments are also called as a podomeres, okay, segments or the podomeres, okay, and they are named as coxa and bases. The coxa is attached to the body, whereas the distal segment is called as a basis. The bases bear two finger-like processes and they are called as a exopodite and endopodite. The exopodite is the larger than the endopodite and it is placed outside, whereas the endopodite is the smaller than the exopodite and it is placed interiorly or internal to the exopodite, okay. So in the figure it is clearly you can distinguish between the different parts, different segments of the appendages, okay. Then now next picture, that is 10.67, is a typical appendage, okay, of crustacean, okay. That is it the coxa and bases that form the protopodites and followed by the two finger like projection endopodite and exopodite, okay. Student, did you remember how many number of appendages are present in prawns? There are total 19 segments. So each segment consists of pair of appendages. So total 19 pair of appendages are found in prawns, okay, and they are divided as per the segments, that is cephalothorax region consists of total 13 segments, okay. So cephalothorax composed of head and thorax. So head is a fusion of 5 segments, so it gives rise to the 5 pair of appendages, whereas the thorax consists of 8 segments and it has total 8 pairs of appendages, followed by abdominal region that consists of 6 segments having a 6 pairs of appendages. So from the cephalic appendages we will start. Cephalic appendages consist of 5 pairs, okay. They are namely antennae 1, antennae 2, mandibles, maxillae 1 and maxillae 2. So first is the antennae, also known as singular, it is called as the antennae, whereas antennules plural, okay. The first antennae or the first pair of appendages of prawns is the first antennae, okay, and they are cephalic appendages. They are biramous, that is it is bifurcated into two. They lies below the eye stalk. Each one antennae has a protopodite made up of 3 podomeres, okay. Here the protopodites will be made up of 3 podomeres or 3 segments, that is precoxa, coxa and bases, okay. Followed by precoxa is a hollow and it contains a cavity to place a eye, okay, and an opening for the stetocyst. Stetocyst is the sense organ. eye is also sense organ, that is for visuals, whereas the stetocyst is the for the balancing and all. Okay. Then the endopodoid and the exopodoid are made up of many segments which are modified into two short flagellae. Okay. In this picture we can see that figure 10.68 shows a antennules. Antennules is the first pair of appendages in a cephalic region. Okay, it is biramous. The protopodoid is divided into three segments, that is the precoxa, coxa and basis. Okay, basis will be followed by the exopodoid and endopodoid, which having a multiple segments which are modified to form a short flagellae. Okay, the antennules are the what is the function of antennules? The antennules will act as a sensory in function, that is serving for tactile organ, for touch. Okay, and the first antenna contains stetocyst or the organ of balancing, which are placed in a precoxa and the eye. Okay, the next one is antennae, second antennae. Second antennae of cephalic appendages. Okay, it is also biramous. They are situated behind the first antennules. Okay, the protopodoid here is consist of two segments, that is coxa and basis. Okay, and the endopodoid is modified into long multi-jointed filament called as a phyllars. Okay, it is endopodoid. Okay, and whereas the exopodoid become a broad plate like called as a squama. Okay, and this antennae is also served for the function of tactile organ, that is for the sense of touch. Okay, the next one is the mandible. Mandible are the third cephalic appendages and it is located on the third segment. They lie on either side of the mouth, this mandible, and the main function of this mandible is to masticate the food. It acts as a function of our teeth. How our teeth has a function, that is mastication of food. Similarly, the mandibles also act as a or function as a mastication of food, and it has a protopodoid and it is calcified teeth. Okay, and the endopodoid is double segment and it is processed into pulp. Okay, and there is no exopodoid, so here the exopodoid will be degenerate or absent. Okay, and this the function is that its mandibles are masticatory in function and it moves from side to side. It will move from side to side, not up and down. Okay, the next one is the maxillae. Maxilla 1 or maxillulae. This is the first maxillae is the cephalic appendages and they present on the fourth segment. Okay, they are the smallest appendages. Each maxilla consists of protopodoid and this protopodoid have a two flattened leaf-like lobe called as a gnatho-base. Okay, or gnatho means jaw. So the function of this is, what are the function of our jaw? That is it supports the mouth. Okay, the gnatho-base covers the minute cytae hair, and this gnatho-base is covered by a minute cytae. Okay, followed by endopodoid of each maxilla is slender and is made up of two segments. The exopodoid is absent here. Okay, and the function is to push the food to the mouth. Okay, function of this maxilla or first maxillae. Then second maxillae or maxilla is placed on the fifth segment and the protopodoid of the second maxilla is flat and cut into four leaf-like lobes. that is gnatobase. Okay, 4 in number, and these leaf-like lobes point towards the mouth, forming the gnatobase or jaw. The exopodite is modified into ear lobe-like structure called as a scaphognatite. Okay, and it produces a water current for respiration. Scaphognatite, please take down the or note down the spelling, that is SCAPHOGNATHITE. Okay, then this endopodite, here the endopodite is small and unsegmented. Okay, and the function of this second maxilla is to namely feeding and for the respiration. Okay, it will help in respiration. With this, the cephalic appendages consist of, which we will revise, that is cephalic appendages consist of antenules 1, antenule 2, antenules, then followed by antennae, then mandible, then maxillae 1 and maxillae 2. Okay, then next one is the thoracic appendages. Thoracic appendages or thoracic segments consist of 8 pairs of thoracic appendages, and they are directed forward. Okay, and it lies parallel to the midline of the body. Okay, the first 3 pair of thoracic appendages take part in feeding, and so they are known as the maxillipedes. Okay, so maxillipede 1, 2 and 3. So the function of this first 3 thoracic appendages is in the feeding, so it is named as maxillipedes 1, 2 and 3, whereas remaining 5 of appendages are used in locomotion, that is for walking, and these are known as the walking legs or pods. Okay, all the thoracic appendages have a protopodite, so consist of 2 podomeres, namely coxa and bases. Okay, and the endopodite is made up of 5 segments. Endopodites will made up of 5 segments, and they are named as ischium, mirus, carpus, propodus and dactylus. No need to remember all this, just remember the number of segments. Okay, so the thoracic appendages have a protopodite, consist of 2 podomeres, coxa and bases, just remember this, whereas endopodites consist of 5 segments. No need to remember the names. Okay, just endopodite is made up of 5 segments बस. और उसके बाद like the exopodite, that is the exopodite of walking leg, okay, are very much reduced into filaments, okay, in order to walking. Okay, and this structure, the coxa of the protopodite of first 5 thoracic appendages bears a small process called as a epipodite. In this structure we can see the epipodite, okay, which is used for respiration. Remember this, the first 5 thoracic appendages bears a small process called as a epipodite, which plays an important role in respiration. Okay, whereas the epipodites of the first maxillipedes are flattened lobe, while the remaining appendages is in Y shaped. Okay, you can see the first maxillipede have a in a first lobe like, okay, whereas the another 4 will be in the form of the Y shaped. Okay, maxillipede 1, 2 and also in ciliate legs and the non-ciliate legs. Okay, so first we'll see the maxillipede 1. Maxillipede 1 forms the first thoracic appendages, and it is present on the 6th segment. They are first thoracic appendages. It consists of protopodite, which is a flattened and incompletely divided into 3 lobes called as a gnatobase, which is covered by a small hair, okay, setose hair, whereas the exopodite is a flattened lobe, and the endopodite is made up of 5 podomeres. Okay, and these 5 podomeres, no need to remember the names, okay, just remember it is made up of 5 podomeres or 5 segments, whereas the epipodite is in conical or the lobe shape. Okay, then next followed by the maxillipede. Second maxillipede found on or forms the second thoracic appendages. It forms found on a 7 segment, okay, of the prawns, and they are biramous, that is bifurcated into two, and the protopodite is formed of coxa and bases. The endopodite is a segmented and curved like a question mark, and it is made up of 5 podomeres or 5 segments, okay, and the exopodite is unsegmented. It will be having a epipodite which is in the Y shaped, and they are used for feeding and also for respiration. Okay, the next one is maxillipede 3. It forms a third thoracic appendage, biramous. Protopodite is made up of coxa and base, whereas this endopodite is form of 5 segments, okay, followed by exopodite which is unsegmented, and epipodite is in the form of Y, and the function of this epipodite is for feeding and respiration. Now comes the walking leg. Okay, walking, there are last 5 pairs of thoracic regions of thoracic appendages or segments are called as the walking legs or periopods. Okay, and they are biramous, consisting of protopodite and exopodite and endopodite. Okay, they are two types. Now they are again divided into two types, that is ciliate leg and non-ciliate leg. So first we will see what is the ciliate leg. Ciliate leg will be formed 3 pairs of walking legs, and they are found on the thoracic appendages. They are biramous, and the protopodite here is made up of 2 segments, that is coxa and bases. Okay, whereas the endopodite is made up of 5 segments, namely 5 segments, just remember the segment, whereas the last 2 segments in this endopodite will be named as a that is propodus, and the dactylus of endopodite is arranged like a blades, okay, blades of a pair of forceps, like a forceps, okay, and they are this type of articulate is called as a chela, so that's why it is called as a ciliate legs. Okay, so why that particular this appendages is called as a ciliate leg, because the endopodite consists of 5 segments, and the last 2 segments, that is the propodus and the dactylus, having a are arranged in such a way that it gives a formation like a forceps. Okay, and this articulation is called as a chela, so it is called as a ciliate leg, and this type of articulation or this chela is used for grasping of the food and that pass into the mouth. Okay, here the epipodite are present in all 3 ciliate leg, and it will be in the shape of Y. Okay, and they are used for respiration. Then comes the non-ciliate leg. Non-ciliate leg forms a 2 pairs of walking leg. Okay, and they are the last 2 thoracic legs. They are biramous, and the protopodite is formed of coxa and bases. The endopodite is made up of 5 podomeres. Okay, and the last 2 segments of endopodite are arranged in a linear order, normal order, which we have already studied. Only in a ciliate they will be forming a forceps like. Okay, and so they do not form a chela, hence they are known as a or called as a non-ciliate legs. Okay, this is the forceps like. Okay, the chela, dactylus and pro. Then next is the abdominal appendages. abdominal appendages or abdomen bears 6 pairs of abdominal appendages, and they are called as a pleopods or swimmerets because it helps in swimming. Okay. The appendages from the second to the fifth abdominal segment are like the typical appendages what we have seen. They will be having a protopodite consists of basis and coxa with the endopodite and exopodite. They are biramous. The abdominal appendages, whereas the exopodite and will be in finger-like projection similarly. So we'll just see the first abdominal appendages. Okay, that is a typical will be like typical appendages, and it will be present on the first abdominal segment. They are called pleopods or swimming. They are biramous. Each appendage is formed of protopodite, exopodite and endopodite. Okay. The protopodite is formed of the coxa and basis, whereas the exopodite is finger-like projection, and endopodite is also finger-like but smaller than the exopodite. Okay. The appendages are best will be covered with the setose hair. Okay, and the first pair of these pleopods differ in two sexes. So here first pair of pleopods will differ in two sexes, that is in male and female. In female, the endopodites are reduced. Okay, whereas in male they are membranous. The endopodite of the two sides unite to form a copulatory organ called as a petarsum. Okay, in male, where united means fused together endopodites that give rise to the petarsma, that is copulatory organ, followed by second to fifth abdominal appendages. Second to fifth abdominal appendages will be like help in pleopods. They are called as the pleopods or swimming legs. They are biramous, and each appendage is formed of protopodite and exopodite and endopodite. Okay, the protopodite is formed of coxa and basis. The exopodite and the endopodite are finger-like, and the exopodite is larger than the endopodite. Okay, then followed by this is the uropod. Uropod is the last pair of abdominal appendages, and they are present on the last abdominal segment. They are biramous, and each uropod consists of protopodite, exopodite and endopodite. The protopodite is formed of single segment called as a sympod. Okay, sympod, and the exo and endopodite are oar shaped, and the exopodite is larger than the endopodite. Okay, and these uropods also will be covered with the setose hair, and these uropods and the telson is the another tail fin that give both together forms a tail fin. Okay, and they bring about the backward swimming. Okay, so with this we have completed the different types of appendages in prawns. Okay, any questions or difficulty is there, we will in detail we will be performing an experiment on this, that is dissection is there, appendages in prawns. Okay, during that time you will you will be dissecting the different appendages. Okay, so even in that time also you will come to the experience or see how it will be. Okay, with this if any question is there then please let me know. Okay, thank you.